Okay, it's preparing. Okay, all right, cool. All right, so this, for anybody watching this, a lot of times Robert likes to jump on and watch what we did, and Julie might want to, since she's not here. So today's game was called Three Spirits, and I'm just going to run over what the instructions were for that for anybody that wants to watch or get online. And we had 1 hour to create something out of three different sounds, sort of a past sound, a present sound, and a future sound. So the past sound, let me refresh this. Past sound was this. Nice little symphony. Then we
Better be the status. You
had this hip hop track and this weird droney type thing that we had to make something with. So we've all spent an hour working on it, trying to incorporate all those. And I've got Greg here and I've got Suzanne here. And we are ready to go. So let's just do them in order. Let's start with Julie, who's not here, but she can listen back. Check it out. Kind of made it just kind of an incorporation, a cornucopia of the different sounds. It was interesting. Um, I like that she put in the bells. I hadn't even thought of doing that. I totally forgot. I know that was the bonus, but I totally forgot that part. There was a lot to this. There's a lot of pieces to try to incorporate. It might have been a little too much. Well done, Julie. Um, I like your comment. Has the unsteady, haunting Christmas that starts at midnight for poor even Ebenezer. All right, Greg, let's check yours out. Slow Spirits.
Eyes closed, in the pool. Living in the dream, pockets full. Living in the dream, pockets full. Living in the dream, pockets full. Eyes closed, in the dream, I'm on that. Yeah, I'm on that. Yeah, I'm dream, pockets full. I'm on that. Yeah, I'm on that. Yeah, I'm on that. Eyes big stacks, fresh shot. Living in the dream, pockets full. Living in the dream, pockets full. Living in the dream, pockets full. Eyes closed, in the yeah, I'm on that. Yeah, I'm on that. Yeah, I'm dream, pockets full. I'm on that. Yeah, I'm on that. Yeah, I'm on that. Eyes big stacks, fresh shot.
That's pretty badass. Very cool. Um, walk us through really quick what you did for the different sounds.
Yeah, so the rap, I took a couple of different chunks of that, put them into different instances of a sampler, so that I could kind of play them at the tempo that I kind of wanted the whole thing to fall into. Yeah, the actually I kind of dumped everything to different samplers and then just started goofing around. It's pretty much how it worked. And then uh, bounced a bunch of the MIDI parts from the samplers back out to audio and did a bunch of manual editing. So that whole beat thing is part of, I lost track of what the name of that sample is. The Whispers of the whatever.
Hmm.
The beat is that one sliced up a bunch.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah. And then
The
there's
the
other beat.
symphony one.
What's that?
The symphony?
Let me actually check here because I don't remember what came from where anymore.
Oh, it's all right. I think the Whispers one was the symphony one.
Oh, no, you're okay. Yeah. So Whispers is where I got just all I used from Whispers is just a little, um, there's a tiny little upswing in this in the strings at like what about 8 seconds I think in that loop, and that's all I used from that.
Okay.
Uh, from yes, the other parts, the beats all from Untouchable, and then the other part from Synthetic Horizons is just that tone that comes in at the beginning and kind of walks down chromatically, or I guess no, not chromatically, whole steps. Anyway, yeah.
Mm. Cool. Love
So
it.
yeah, a lot of goofing around with editing. I really, I had a lot more ideas to evolve this yet. Kind of ran
Where
out of
did
time.
you get the bells from?
Those are two different chromophone presets.
Okay.
Chromophone from Applied Acoustics is my absolute go-to for realistic, like bell mallet percussion type stuff. Is the
Yeah.
bot. I mean, you're not going to get anything that sounds like a specific real instrument and like better than say a sampled one, but you will get very realistic sounding instruments that don't exist.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely has that Christmas sound immediately. Those bells. Or I guess xylophone. Yeah, that's a xylophone, I think. Or it's
Uh,
supposed to sound like it.
yeah,
Glut.
they're both bell presets, and again, they don't really map to any real world instrument. They're just bell
Bell
based
like.
presets. Yeah.
And then there's several different really tinny, high pitched mallet instruments, and I can never remember, I get them all mixed up. Glockenspiel is one. Um, I think bells are actual, or I'm thinking of chimes with the long tubes.
Oh,
Tubular bells.
tubular bells.
Tubular
Yeah.
bells. That's what I'm thinking of. I think that's right.
Yeah, I think the lower bell part that I use has a certain amount of that tubular bell sound.
Yeah. Well, it was really good. It was awesome.
Thanks.
But did you find this one challenging?
Not really, because I kind of stumbled onto the when I was initially splitting up the Untouchable sample, I almost immediately stumbled onto the clip, the first rap clip that comes in, slowed down, just happened to hit a key that played it at a tempo I really like. It was okay, everything's just going to build around that. So
Cool.
I got lucky and it was easy.
Good. Awesome. All right. We'll just do it in order. I'll do mine. So I spent most of the time working on that drone sound that's going throughout it, and that's from the futuristic sound. I just took a snippet of it and pitched it to a, and then looped it, and then used a modulator. It's called Fan. It's my newest plugin, and it just spins, and then you just kind of crank it in the different to kind of make a vibrato type sound to it. And then I just looped that, and then I started bringing in decapitator slowly into it. That just gets dirtier and dirtier throughout it, which gets kind of fun. Um, the it was hard to integrate. Like I wanted to do a lot with the symphony stuff, but it was just my thing was in a minor, and that symphony was very major, and I couldn't find a piece that really worked for it. So the only part I used was this little violin, right. I just used that as a little violin from the violin.
That works out to be a great piece of ear candy in there, though.
I thought so too. It kind of it was kind of a happy mistake. I slid it in, and it was like, oh, that works. Okay, check that
Play
off.
it again. Play that again. I want to hear it again.
Yeah. Did you hear it?
Oh, cool.
You know what, Zion? That's actually the same piece that I used.
Yeah. Yep. I noticed that too.
Same little two-note thing. Yep.
That's cool.
And then this part right here, bump, 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 bump. That's from Julie used that as well. That's from the beginning of the rap. That's the only part I took. I wanted to put the rap voice in there, but it would have taken some real manipulation to make it fit right. I don't know how Greg did it, but um so I just took that as a sampler, and I made that bump, 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 and it just kind of made a little melody out of it, out of a sampler. So anyway,
That's cool. I really liked there's a bit in that melody that had a little slide up.
yeah,
And
little
so
portamento in there.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, where does it? Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I did use a little pitch bend on that just to kind of give it a little interest. Cool. That was fun. I enjoyed this one, but it was really challenging.
Yeah.
I think what I liked about mine was just the drone just going through the whole thing. I don't normally do that kind of thing, and it gives this kind of eeriness to it that's just like industrial or something. Like something's off, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't do hip hop beats very often. So this was, and I didn't use any loops. So I just actually made a hip hop beat, which I don't usually do because I think over the last 10 years, hip hop beats have just, they're in everything. And so I kind of gotten tired of them, but this just felt like it needed it. So I put it in.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks for entertaining me. Spiral Bells. Let's check it out. That was really good, Suzanne. Holy cow.
It was a lot of fun.
I think my favorite thing is how you integrated the orchestra into it. Man, when you can and that orchestra, I actually created that through through Suno. It's
Oh,
AI.
AI. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, all the parts, all of this was AI. It's gotten better and better in the last year. It's like crazy good now.
Wow, including the rap, like
Hmm.
the
All of it.
jam rap. That's
It's
very
so
cool.
crazy.
That's really
Um,
cool.
but what I loved about that is that you gave it, can I play a little bit again?
Yeah.
That na na is very it feels very John Williams, that orchestration, that
Uh,
chord progression right there.
yeah.
And so to fit it into a track is really cool. I really like how right there, that orchestration you took out, but you still kept one chord that kind of comes in at the end. That
Yeah.
was really tasty.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really well done. So you got this really crazy, it almost kind of becomes more Hans Zimmer all of a sudden with that electric guitar, because he does that in a lot of his orchestrations, those kind of just notes playing over a big sound.
Mhm.
And then so tell me what are the instruments going on in that?
Um, Most of that is actually from the rap. Like there's a midsection in the rap that was just a da-na, 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 da. That was straight up chopped and pasted. I added
Wow.
the tubular bells and I added the loop for the rhythm when things get kicked in.
Yeah.
Everything else was copy and pasted from what was in there.
Wow. And then the beat itself, that
Yeah, that's the loop that I added. So I only added the bells, bing, 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 and the doom, doom,
that loop sounds so familiar. I think I have used that in songs. What is that?
probably. Um, all I really
Is it from
it says
Contact?
Oliver, Oliver acoustic drum loop, big hands.
Is it from Splice?
But I don't know. What
Oh,
I what I usually do is for things like this, like I figured out the BPM for the rap,
yeah,
and then I just type the BPM in my library. So it was 112, and I'll either look up 112 and see if there's anything there, or 111 or 113, like something in the same range. And I
right.
found this at 111, and I just like scooted it.
Oh, it fits so perfectly. It's
Yeah.
really nice. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like a is it cajon? You know that the box that you slap?
Uh-huh.
It kind of sounds like that.
Hmm.
That was so good. Oh my God.
Yeah, the bells were Spitfire Labs has a free Christmas VST, and that was part of that, including Glockenspiel and all sorts of Christmassy sounds.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, you knocked it out of the park.
Thank you.
You need to come more often.
I know, it's just Thursdays are just really hard. I
If
felt
this was Saturdays, would you guys still be able to do it?
I could do it a whole lot easier.
A lot easier?
Yeah.
It would probably be less consistent for me, but I think a lot of weeks it would still work.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't have to be absolutely everything, but I'm wondering if we just switch over to Saturdays, if more people would be able to join and check it out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely an outlier as far as scheduling. I think you're likely to have more people available on weekends.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me ask Steve too, because he's one of our Steve and Robert and Julie are the other integral people here.
Yeah.
But I think that might be really fun. Gosh, those were so good, guys. Y'all inspire me.
It's super fun. I
It's
always love it when I'm able to either I'll have to like play hooky a bit, or because it's coming up on the holidays, I've wrapped up all my client work, so I have a
okay,
little more.
Nice.
Yeah, this is super fun.
awesome. Well, thanks for hanging with me. And
Thanks for hosting.
yeah, if anybody's watching this and wants to join, just go to onthehook.games. Oh, and remember, Suzanne, if you click your own thing, so if I click mine, I can create a share link, and it'll create a link that when you text it to somebody, they'll be able to just hit play within their text.
Oh, cool.
Just give it a second, and then you can just hit copy, and then paste it on Facebook or text or whatever, and it'll show the game description, and they'll be able to just hit play.
That's so cool.
All right, guys.
Love it.
Thanks for hanging. I will talk to you not next week, 2 weeks from
Right.
now. Hopefully, I'll see you guys. Okay.
All
Zion, you
right.
go for a few minutes?
Yeah. All right. See you,
All right,
Suzanne.
take
See you
care.
soon.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Yeah. Let's look at the stems here.
Okay. And are you still streaming?
Oh, yeah. Good point. We don't want to stream anymore.